We still need to talk to everyone about their alibis, which is a really simple challenge. Just talk to all the characters about their alibis.
Yes, can I help you?
Alicia, what were you doing on the night of the fire?
Doing some follow-ups with the arson. Where were you that night?
Are you asking for my alibi?
Well, yes, if you don't mind.
I was at a charity fundraiser, saving the piping plovers. Anyone in this town that works in an official capacity can vouch for me. Are you interviewing any of them?
I don't think I'll need to.
I'm a little bit surprised you'd even ask.
Just being thorough.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna follow up on that alibi. It sounds super boring. What about the other crime?
Would you mind telling me what you were doing 3 days ago?
3 days ago. All day or...
Well, any info would be helpful.
Actually, why are you interested in this?
I was in Austria 3 days ago and witnessed a theft of a historical artifact there that, surprisingly, I believe is connected to this theft.
I see. I was talking to your father about that case.
Really?
Yeah. We chat sometimes. About work. Mostly.
Okay.
Ask him.
Sure.
You're a regular sleuth, aren't you? Picking up other cases now?
Not exactly. It's kind of related to the Hathorn house.
Yeah, let's see. I was home, watching Jason cut the stump out of my front yard.
You hired Jason Danforth for that?
He's cheap, and he can't say no, because he needs the money. Plus, I kinda like watching him suffer a little.
I wouldn't know why.
You know, I could use someone like you. A lawyer is always in need of a good private investigator. If your father would be okay with you working for someone else.
Alicia, I'm my own woman. I work for myself. But you've been very helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Good. Well, when you solve this case, let's talk.
Okay, so she basically backed up Jason's alibi. I'm more interested in the fact that she chats about Nancy's father, and they don't always chat about work. Is she flirting with Carson Drew? Is she making a play for him? Because we know she hates the men in this town.
What did you mean when you said the people here are not your type?
Oh, you probably know by now. You've been around town, right?
I have.
It's all people with minds as small as the town itself. I don't mean to sound harsh, but you can only meet so many with the same mindset before you see a pattern.
That's interesting. Did something happen?
Oh, nothing much. Sometimes I just wish this place would be a bit bigger, you know? More progressive. Imagine a revitalized town.
Do you think that could happen?
A woman can dream.
See you later.
She is right. The town certainly seems stuck in the past. But I can't blame it because, you know, a major historical site was burned down recently. Okay, so I have not gotten Lauren's alibi. Let's go over to her shop and talk to her.
Hi, Nancy. You're back soon.
I just have a couple more things I wanted to ask you.
Well, lucky for you, it's quiet here today. Shoot.
I'm sure you've been asked this before, but where were you on the night Hathorn house was burned down?
I was coming home from work, crossing through the cemetery. I could see the orange glow. By the time I got home, it was almost all gone. I called it in.
Were you the first one to call? Anyone see you earlier? Like an hour before?
I was in my shop.
Any customers?
No. Are you trying to say that I burned down the house?
No, I never said that.
Good. I've said it 1,000,000 times, but I'll say it again for your benefit. I'm just glad she wasn't alive to see it. She loved that house, and I loved her. You understand?
Of course. You were the first person to see the fire?
Well, yeah. I was going home, and that's where the fire was.
You know the fire might help you keep your home.
I know that now, but I didn't before. It's a slim chance at best. I'd rather it was whole and shown to be mine by right.
But if that's not an option?
Nothing could make me want to destroy it.
Nancy, asking some very pointed questions. You should just come out and say it, Nancy. Did you start the fire? Did you set the house on fire, Lauren? Tell me the truth now.
You remember where you were 3 nights back?
I was here. I told you already. I have the receipts to prove it. And I'm the only one who works here. Why?
Oh, no, just a related incident. I don't suppose there are any ghost sightings in your shop?
The spirits come and go as they please. I've seen them everywhere around Salem, but I've never seen one operate a point of sale.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'm gonna ask about the herbs she has here. This starts a mini game.
What kind of herbs do you have here?
The kind that helps people ease their burdens. Since cold season started, business has been booming. Between managing the shop itself and preparing remedies, it's getting harder to keep up.
I don't mind lending you a hand with preparing the remedies, if that's okay with you. I love learning new things.
This is delicate work. But you do seem to have an interest in herbology. Sure, it would be fun to pass on the basics, at least. I'll be around the shop and manage the counter. Just let me know when you have something finished, and I'll take a look at it.
Great. So, where do I begin?
I've prepared the patient notes already. You can find them on the counter. You can use my reference book to study the herbs and what ailments they cure, and the basics of remedy mixing.
Okay. This is gonna be so much fun.
So here's the note.
These are the notes she took when discussing the ailments with her patients. Need to figure out the proper mix of herbs to cure these.
This person has unbearable nausea. So let's take a look
This book
through
looks
the book.
really worn. The knowledge must be centuries old, if not more.
So you want to mix things precisely. These are all the various herbs. So you want to match the herbs with the symptoms. So ginger, scarcely you will find a better remedy than ginger to correct vomit and loathing brought up from the stomach. If available, add fennel. So, nausea is cured by ginger, and if it's unbearable, that means we need 3 things of it. Looks like this. You just click on the ginger, and then click on the mortar and pestle 3 times.
Look at that. Your first proper herb mixture. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's tricky to keep track of everything, but the book really helps.
It's old and worn from use, but full of wisdom. It's taught me most of what I know.
So here's the next recipe we need to make. Let me explain more detail. If something's slight, that means you use 1 serving. If something's moderate, it means you use 2 servings. And if something is unbearable, that means we use 3 servings, as we saw earlier. So each symptom goes with one of the various ingredients. If it's indigestion, you use cinnamon here. If it's a migraine, use feverfew here. If it's anxiety, use the chamomile here. If it's high blood pressure, use the garlic here. If it's nausea, it's ginger. If it's a liver condition, you use Our Lady's thistle. And if it's memory problems, you use sage. So let me show what it looks like when we're putting all these things together. Moderate memory condition. Moderate means 2, and memory condition is sage, so 2 sage. And slight indigestion, slight is 1, and indigestion is cinnamon, so 1 cinnamon.
Good. You're getting the hang of things.
Once I've memorized the herbs and their ailments, making the mixtures themselves is easy.
It took me a while to get to the point where I could create mixtures from memory. Impressive.
Well, I'm an impressive detective. And also, hey, there's this piece of paper sticking out of the book. It looks important.
No, Nancy, please don't touch that. It's private.
Oh.
Lauren asked me not to read this, but it could be relevant to the case.
Let's make one more mixture. Unbearable migraines. Unbearable is 3, and migraines is feverfew, so 3 feverfew.
Good. I'll put it with the rest. Great work.
I just have a couple more things I wanted to ask you.
Once you take a look at the page in the book, you can say, oh, I forgot to mention, there's a distraction on the other side of town. Why don't you go look at it?
I forgot to mention, I was speaking with Alicia and she mentioned that she needed to talk to you. It sounded urgent.
Shoot, I forgot I had an appointment with her.
Do you need me to watch the shop?
You would? Really? You sure?
Yeah, I know where all the heavy hitters are. Cinnamon, pow. Ginger, bam. I got it.
Oh, that's great. Thanks.
Excellent. So, while she's gone, we can take a look at her secret message.
Interesting.
It's from her mother, Frances. My dear Lauren, as I write this, you're sound asleep in your crib in the next room. There's so much to say, but I hope you won't have to find any of this out from reading the letter, because if you do, it will mean I couldn't be there to tell you any of this in person. The book you have in front of you has been passed down in our family for generations. It's the original herbology book written by Tituba, one of the poor souls accused during the 17th century witch trials in Salem. Legend has it that she was made free and roamed the world uncovering knowledge and wisdom on how to remedy all sorts of ailments. She was quite impressive. Our lineage stems from her. Had her accusers had their way, neither me nor you would be here today. This book is proof of our right to exist, of everything good that can come from allowing a wrongfully accused victim to live. There's so much more I want to tell you, but it will have to wait until you are old enough to understand. To be sure our heritage isn't lost to you, I'm leaving this letter for you to find. Remember, my Lauren, that you are loved. Always. Your mother.
Hey, what are you doing? That's private.
Ooh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, I got
I'm
caught
sorry, Lauren.
snooping.
Sometimes my curiosity gets the better of me.
So what? It's private. Didn't you hear me?
I'm sorry. I admit, I shouldn't have read it, but would you mind talking about it? It seemed personal. You don't have to worry about me mentioning it to anyone. Please?
Do you know who Tituba is?
I don't, but I would love to.
The first woman in Salem to be accused of being a witch. Practically everyone around here knows the story. This is her book. The original book of remedies and herb knowledge by Tituba herself.
Wait, are you saying that book is over 300 years old? Does Tegan know you have this? She would love to have it in her exhibition.
Yeah, I know. But it's for me. Personal use. According to my mother, my biological mother, we are related to Tituba. She was accused, then miraculously released. Little is known about her life after that. How she learned to write, create this book. But it's important for me to hold on to. I don't have much, but I have this.
Wow, that's incredible. Does anyone else know?
No, I never shared it with anyone. I wanted to keep it safe.
Of course.
Alicia wasn't in her office. I'll just meet with her later. Thank you for watching over my shop, but please, don't touch my things again, okay?
I'll keep my hands to myself, but I'd love to help you make some more remedies, if that's okay, to make up for all of this.
Yes, sure.
You could do the remedy making mini game whenever you want. It's kind of fun.
I just have a couple more things I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, we've got several more things. Let's talk more about Tituba.
You don't feel conflicted, knowing you were related to Tituba and what the house represents?
So I burn it down as revenge for a 300-year-old wrong. That's your thinking.
Tituba seems as much an influence on you as growing up on the estate of the one who accused her. I imagine it's hard to resolve those feelings.
Have you ever seen the Capitol building? Do you know who built that? I never tried to burn that down either.
Meaning?
It's not so simple to set things right.
It does seem a little bit ridiculous to claim that Lauren would set her own house on fire just because one of her ancestors was wrongfully accused.
Everyone says there are ghosts in this town. Is that true? What is it?
You know, I believe the dead stay dead. But I've seen ghosts recently in my own house.
Really? Who?
Wait, you believe me? I thought I was going crazy.
I believe there's an explanation. Who was it?
I don't know. A woman, wearing old clothes like the kind you find in Tegan's museum. I couldn't see her face, and I swear she was real. I could hear her, I could feel her. She smelled like rotten fruit or something. You know, that gray, moldy smell that hits you in the back of your throat? Yeah, that.
Huh. That's pretty specific, actually. More specific than anyone else I've talked to.
I saw her in the Hathorn house. Watch out for her. She'll come to you. No doubt in my mind.
I've already seen the ghost, and it was not a good time.
You ever hear rumors about a coven in Salem?
That's just something Olivia says to sell tour tickets. I didn't think you believed in that kind of witch.
So you never heard a rumor? As a kid, maybe?
What are you getting at?
I found a photo of you three from when you were kids.
She kept it?
Do you remember where this photo was taken?
Sure. Well, sort of. It was a shed somewhere close to the neighborhood the Perrys live in. We went there a few times.
So, the three of you used to hang out.
Well, that was long ago. We did dumb things. I wish we hadn't. Far as I know, there's no coven of witches, though.
I find it interesting that Lauren, Tegan, and Olivia all used to hang out together.
See you later.
Let's take a look at this photo, because Olivia seems like she's much older than the other two. It seems like she's 10, 15, 20 years older than them.
Is that young Tegan? Olivia and Lauren too. So they were friends once.
But I guess they're all the same age. Interesting.